Okay, howdy y'all. I wanted to show you how to do the pine needle tea. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's not going to be on for a little while, so I finally found a few minutes. Just to show you what it looks like on the branch. This is a southern longleaf yellow pine. The eastern white pine in the higher climes and up and down, especially in the north of the coastal plain, the Atlantic coastal plain, and coast states all the way up into Canada. That's the eastern white pine, but they basically look the same. These are your leaves. Each leaf, I guess, has, you know, anywhere from 3 to 5 or 6 of these individual leaves. These are clusters, and then you have the leaves. That's going to be a pine cone come this spring. Well, if I hadn't broken it off, but it was already kind of broken from the ice storm. Low-hanging fruit, so I just grabbed it. It was fresh. But here, what I do is I already rinsed this off with a little bit of water. And what we want to do is, I have water, other water that's boiling behind me right now. Not quite boiling, but simmering. And just break a couple of these guys off. Now, I've never actually tasted this tea before, so this is going to kind of be like, you know, one of those guys like Les Stroud, Survivor Man, you know, when he eats the weird looking bug out in the middle of the woods and he just cringes at the taste of it. It is going to be a little bit on the bitter side because of the high ascorbic acid content. As I put in the text of this little thing that I'm writing up for y'all, the high ascorbic acid is what gives it the vitamin C. That's actually the molecular formula of vitamin C. And these pine needles, if you had an equal weight of oranges, like a navel orange or whatnot, would be 10 times the vitamin C content. So you definitely get a lot of vitamin C. Now, I've read some different things where you can actually just kind of stick these in to the water and steep them. You don't want to boil them because that actually kills the ascorbic acid and forces it to break down chemically, and then you lose your vitamin C. So you want the water hot but not boiling. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it to a boil, cut the heat, and then just steep these in there, kind of like sticking spaghetti in when you're boiling water, that kind of thing. And then I'll leave these ends out. Other quote-unquote recipes call for just kind of breaking them so that they're still kind of attached but broken. And then yet other recipes call for actually cutting them. I'm going to cut them up because I need my vitamin C today because I got up late. So basically I'm going to start by just kind of cutting off these gnarly kind of woody ends. Surprising thing about these pine trees is they have lots of other uses, which we'll have to get into at some other point. And you know, that's pretty much it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come through and I'm going to chop these up with my little trusty pocket knife that I always have on me for cutting little stuff, not screwing screws into the wall or trying to open cans or SpaghettiOs or whatever. Now, I think what happens here is when you actually dump these in the water, the high heat from the warm water will be forcing out the vitamin C, the ascorbic acid, out these ends that I just cut. And, you know, again, it's going to be kind of bitter. I suppose you could add some sugar. If you find another plant that you can make honey out of, something sweet, well, then you can use those to kind of give it some flavor. But I think at about 5 o'clock in the morning when you're freezing your butt off, you're not really going to care. You just need your essential vitamin C so to avoid getting scurvy. Now, I've also been reading that you can do this with pretty much most pines, but I guess these guys have the highest vitamin C content. Concentration is really, really high. One thing you want to avoid is a U. So get out your field guide or go on the internet and try to identify these trees that are around you so you don't mistakenly eat the wrong guy, or in this case drink the wrong guy. So let me grab a hot pad here and set this down, just so we're all in the same camera view here and I don't have to move anything. I think I'm doing alright on battery. Yep. So that's going to go in there, and I'm going to set this over here. And what I'm using is I've got my standard U.S. Army canteen kit, and it comes with a little cup that goes in the bottom of this, and they all contain, so it's self-contained. You can throw stuff in here. They have these little tablets, but I think honestly if I'm going to be doing anything with water in the field, I'm going to want to definitely boil it first, just for grains. So I'm going to cut the heat on this. I'm going to bring this guy over there. It's just about boiling. Again, let me show you. This can go in here. You can't cook with this canteen in there, but this can go in there, and then the whole thing goes in that little pouch that you can hook on your belt. You can get the whole kit for probably, I don't know, if you go on eBay, probably 10 bucks, including delivery costs, shipping. Yeah, it smells actually kind of good. You just throw it in there. Now again, you could have just steeped a whole handful of them and put them in there, but I'm just going to stir them up. Now they say you want to strain this, but if you let it cool down here in a few minutes, it's actually, excuse me, turning a greenish yellow, just barely. And I'm just going to let this stir around and hang out for a few minutes, and then I'll be back and I'll give it a try. Some say strain this stuff out. I'm just going to kind of, you know, tighten my lips around the edge when I'm drinking it and see if that works. So that's how it goes. I'll see you in a minute. Well, here it is. I mean, it doesn't look special. It's probably kind of hard to see with the light coming in. By the way, those are longleaf pines out there. They're pretty much everywhere in North Carolina. But I'll give this stuff a try. Hope it's not too hot still. All the needles have sunk to the bottom. It smells kind of like grass with a little bit of evergreen. Tastes like pine needles. It's pretty good, but this would be 10 times the amount of an orange. Maybe a little bit more. Anyways, just wanted to show you. Hope you learn how to do this. If you